squeezed orange juice.
A little bit of lime juice.
Sprinkling of sugar.
Some mineral water to top that off.
Okay, grab a straw there, Maní. Ooh, I'd say that was a pretty good start.
Start? What do you mean, start?
Well, we got a lot more juice to squeeze.
What are you talking about? There's plenty of juice here.
Oh, no, not for the meal we have planned. It's one of our favorite summertime drinks, naranjada. Sort of Yucatan-style orangeade, but they oftentimes make it with the naranja agria, the sour orange. These things are as sour as a lemon is. So when we're making naranjadas with sweet oranges in our house, we like to give it a little douse of fresh squeezed lime juice just to bring back that Yucatan-style punch. Now, these things are amazing because they have this really incredibly aromatic rind on them that's oftentimes used to make marmalade with.
So what am I squeezing all this juice for?
Oh, well, I thought we would just stay in that Yucatan citrus groove and make a big pot of Sopa de Lima.
Yucatan citrus groove?
Of course, in Yucatan, they don't just have citrus in sweet things. They love to add a tang to all kinds of savory dishes. Never fails to make your mouth water.
When's dinner?
As soon as we finish squeezing all these limes.
These are those sour oranges, right? The ones that they use to make naranjada?
Got it exactly right. And isn't it cool how they stay green because of the climate here? It won't ever let them turn orange.
Well, you know I'm always up for naranjada.
Oh, me too, me too.
Or we can make limonada. They've certainly got plenty of limes here.
They got tons of limes, but you were pointing to the limas.
Lime, lima, English, Spanish, big difference.
Well, actually, here it is a big difference because remember that in Spanish, lime is limón.
Yeah, and everyone thinks that those are the lemons.
That's right. Those yellow lemons don't even really exist here in Mexico.
Well, if limón is lime, then what are limas?
Okay, think about it sort of like a family tree. Now, well, you know, it'd be better if I just show it to you this way. Now, there's the two main divisions here. You get the yellow lemon, or what's sometimes called limón amarillo here in Mexico. And then within the lime family tree, the first division is between limón and lima. Now, the original little limón, or what we sometimes call the key lime, called the limón criollo here in Mexico, turns absolutely yellow when it is completely ripe. Then on the other side, you've got the grocery store limes, sometimes called the Persian limes or the Tahitian limes. Now, in the lima division, very aromatic, you have a division between sour and sweet. The sour ones are the ones that they use here in the Yucatan so much, and the lima dulces you find over near Guadalajara.
You ask a simple question.
Well, at least you know what limas are now.
Yeah, but what do you do with them?
Well, since you asked.
Give me that.
Okay, the classic sour lima dish, the one that really showcases its aromatic flavor, is the traditional soup called Sopa de Lima from the Yucatan.
Lime soup?
Lima soup, right?
I know, I was just testing you.
So when you want to make this, but the only thing that you can find is the regular old store-bought limes, what do? Well, I've got an idea for you. Now, the very traditional approach is to make this all-day broth, but when I don't have time for that, I'll start with store-bought broth and then doctor it up with the classic fresh ground spices here. We've got black pepper, Mexican oregano, cloves, and a little Mexican cinnamon. I'm going to put all of those into the Mexican molcajete and grind them to a powder. Okay, so those spices are going to go into our simmering broth. But now, what about all of the lime stuff? Hey, Lanie, could you pass me the sliced limes? Thanks. And if you could just start cutting up the tortillas down there. We're going to fry them for the crispy garnish. Now, we've got slices of lime that we'll use for garnish too, but the end pieces of the lime are going to go right into the soup pot, and they'll release some of that typical classic lime aroma. Here's my little trick though. The really aromatic part of the lima agria can be replaced by a little kaffir lime. You know, it's the one that you find in a lot of Southeast Asian cooking. You can find them sold in packages in the Asian grocery stores. It's what they call a bifurcated leaf. It's in two parts like that. Look at the fruit that grows on that. Kind of bumpy. It has almost no juice in it at all, just an aromatic peel. I'm going to take a couple of these leaves and just toss them right into the broth to give us a little of that sour lima aroma. Well, it looks like your temperature on your pot's just about right here for starting to fry. So you can go ahead and fry up your little tortilla strips there. Now we're on to making the base for this broth, this rich soup, and we need 3 ingredients to cook together: the white onion and the red tomato, but we also need a green bell pepper. Now that might surprise you because green bell peppers aren't used very much at all in Mexico, except in the Yucatan, where they grow a variety that's sort of small, kind of compact, and a little more intense in flavor. All we need to do is to cut these into about 1/2-inch pieces. All the vegetables go into the pot where Lanie fried the tortilla strips. I poured out most of the oil before we started, and you stir them around for a few minutes until they soften nicely. Then the broth goes in there with all its aromatic spices, a couple of chicken breast halves. Set the lid askew and let it simmer gently for about 1/2 an hour. Season the soup with salt. Let me give you a hand there, shredding the chicken for the garnish.
You're right, this all does smell delicious.
And you know what? This is only the soup course. Okay, now you go get the avocados and I'll look for other things for the salad.
Okay. Oh, hola señora, ¿cómo estás?
Bien, mamita, bien. Gracias a Dios.
¿Puedes decirme un poquito de todo de esos aguacates?
Mira, ese 10 pesos cuesta. Este es Suárez. Vaya, va, señor.
Oh, los mangos. ¿A cómo el montón?
10 pesos.
¿A 10 pesos? Ok. Se ven muy maduros. Huelen muy sabrosos.
mucho.
Sí, ¿verdad? Aquí tiene, señora. Muchas gracias. Hey, how did you do?
Wow, come on, let me show you. Come on. Okay, so you know those Hass avocados that we have at home that
Yep.
make really good guacamole? Well, they don't have them here. Here they
Okay.
have the Yucatecan avocado.
Okay, let me see. What about this one?
That one is the Suárez. You use those to make the antojitos, like the panuchos and the salgutes. They're really the best to make guacamole here, but they still don't have any that are as good as the Hass.
Okay. How about this one?
That one is del país, that's grown here in the Yucatan. And sometimes they call it morado because, well, it's purple.
Purple. Okay.
And that you use kind of for salads and some garnishes for stews.
Okay. How about this one?
That one is the Lagunero. It is also the same as the Suárez, used for the like antojitos, the panuchos and salbutes.
Okay. And now I got one more down in here someplace. How about this one?
That one is the Noche Buena. That's one of their favorites here. It's a seasonal one that's only in season around this time, but they love it. They put it on everything.
Ooh, cool. Well, I think you did a pretty good job. I guess the avocado doesn't fall too far from this family tree. I think we better get back. put about a third of those pumpkin seeds into the blender, the rest of them over here to use as a garnish for the salad. Lanie, I think that we're just about finished with all the prep work. I sliced the avocados and the mango, toasted the pumpkin seeds.
And I've got the cheese and the bacon, and I'm working on the lime juice. This is going to be quite the Yucatecan extravaganza.
It certainly is. You said that right. Okay, I'm going to pour some olive oil in here for the dressing preparations because I want to cook some garlic in it, soften it up. I'm going to cut up a green chili. This is serrano. We'll put that in there and just let that cook for a few minutes, stirring it around until it's all soft. Now the warm garlic, green chili, and olive oil mix goes into the blender with the toasted pumpkin seeds.
Lime juice.
Give it a nice little spoon of salt and some honey. I love this sort of sweet and tangy dressing.
I love the mango and avocado salad.
Me too. Let's blend it till it's all together. So I think we've got everything together here now when we want to put those salads together, but first we got to serve that soup.
Okay.
Let's eat.
Okay.
Well, here it is.
All right. What do we have?
Oh, this is the Sopa de Lima from the Yucatan.
Oh, wonderful. Fabulous. Beautiful. Fabulous.
Yes,
I love
good.
it. Thank you so much for
You're
inviting
very,
me.
very welcome.
Did you help make it?
I did.
Are you kidding? That would have been a show, that one. The one that was on North Campus, too.
I think it came
So
out
what do you
pretty
think?
good. What do you think?
Somebody but it was the room on the... Cheers and welcome.
Thank you so much for inviting me. I really appreciate it.
It's so great to be
Nice to
guys when we
have
were
you here.
sweet mates and maids. Yeah, no, we had
Okay, the next course is ready.
Yeah, nice.
There you go.
Thank you. Now this looks jazzed about. This is amazing. How would Kirsten know how to get like
I don't know. I don't have a clue about that.
you? Corner of my eye.
That would be someone named Sally.
It was the possum. Okay, lady, you ready for the main course?
There's more?
Poc Chuc.
Gesundheit.
Oh, very funny.
Ooh, here it comes.
Oh, doesn't that
Gracias.
look beautiful? Muchas gracias. Smell that citrus and savory thing going on?
Yes, my mouth is watering again.
I think you could call that the Poc Chuc effect. Here, have a tortilla. Get me one while you're at it.
Okay.
You know, Poc Chuc has become one of the most popular dishes in the Yucatan, and it's never better than when you have it at Tutul Xiu in Maní. It's a pretty simple dish, and it owes a lot to sour orange juice. They simply slice some pieces of pork thinly, and then marinate in salt and pepper and some sour orange juice, then grill it over a wood fire. They have all kinds of local woods that they burn to give a special flavor. And then they serve it with all kinds of fresh garnishes. Wow, the cool thing about Poc Chuc is the preparation doesn't really end in the kitchen because you get a chance to choose exactly what you want in each bite. And of course, it's even better because it's all wrapped in those fabulous homemade tortillas done the Yucatan style, where the women pat them out. They used to do it on banana leaves. Now they do it on the little pieces of plastic, and then they bake them over a wood-fired griddle. This was made out of rolled steel, and it's whitewashed with a little mineral lime. A couple of turns on there, and they're tender and crispy and just wonderful. But if you want the full effect, well, you got to go for the salsas. What do you think, Lanie? Which one do you like?
I really like the habanero, but a combo of the two is amazing.
Okay, so we've got habanero salsa made from fresh green habaneros that are roasted, and a little garlic goes in there, salt and lime juice. And this is the one that they sometimes call chile tomate, roasted tomatoes with garlic and a little salt, cilantro. Sometimes people put chili in it, but this one doesn't have it. I like the combination of the two myself. Now, that's flavor. It's got everything you could want going on. Well, sweet, sour, salty, bitter, savory, spicy.
And excellent.
It sure is. So here's my take on those really fabulous onions that go with Poc Chuc. I've got a bed of coals here in my grill, and I'm gonna add the onions to it. I'm just nestling these little white onions directly into the coals. Now, I'm gonna close this up, let them start to sear and char down there, and about every 5 minutes I'll open it again and turn them around. After about 20 minutes they should be completely soft on the inside and charred on the outside. This is what it looks like when it comes out of the grill. Of course, I let these cool down until they were handleable, but you gotta stick with me on this. I know it sounds kind of strange to throw your food directly into the coals to cook it, but wait till you taste these onions, all charred on the outside and soft on the inside. Now let me show you. It's a kind of messy job here to cut the exterior off of it. So I'm going to cut the top and the bottom off and then make a little slit in the side so that I can peel off the charred exterior. And then the interior, I'll leave all of that over there and we'll go over to the other side of the cutting board here. And I'll cut it into roughly 1/2-inch pieces. It's a little slippery, but I think we can make some nice looking pieces out of this. Now once these are cut, get that little slippery piece in the middle there, and we get these into the bowl here, we've got 3 more to chop. Okay, the onions get seasoned with a little bit of sour orange juice or some lime juice. I'll put a few tablespoons of it on there. These are great if you let them sit for a little while to absorb that tanginess, and I'll tell you, they're even good tomorrow or the next day. Then I'll just stir those up a little bit, and we're on to preparing the meat for the Poc Chuc. Now, it's pork, of course, but not a cut that a lot of people really know much about. This would be like a pork steak here. And these you want to be only about 1/4 of an inch thick. If you can't find those at your local supermarket, you might want to ask the butcher to do something special for you. They can be cut from the leg. They could also be cut from the upper portion of the shoulder. Now I've put a piece of heavy plastic down, another one on top, and I'm going to pound it until it's quite thin. I want it to be about half of the thickness that it is right now. With a heavy mallet like this one, that won't take much time at all. So I'm going to unmold it from the plastic. It's a little bit like a tortilla, and over in this container here, we're going to start marinating the pieces that we'll be grilling. I'll just put a little bit of lime juice on it, a little sprinkling of salt, and how about a few grinds of fresh pepper. And all 4 portions get prepared like that, and we'll be ready for all the final preparations before grilling. I'm going to refrigerate the pork until we're ready to grill, but you got to remember no more than an hour with all that lime juice that's in there.
Hey, what can I do to help?
Oh, good. I'm so glad you're here. Grab a cutting board because we've got to slice up some cabbage, tomatoes, avocado. Pick what you want to do.
Avocado first.
Okay, get the cutting board.
Okay.
We're gonna throw some mesquite wood chips onto our charcoal fire. They'll start to smoke immediately, giving a beautiful flavor to the grill. Open this up. We've got a hot grilling surface. I brushed a little oil on the meat, and now I'm just gonna lay it right down onto the grill grates. It'll only take couple of minutes per side, and that pork will be seared and beautiful and cooked all the way through. We've spread the cabbage out into a bed for each of the plates here and sprinkled it with a little lime juice, salt, pepper. We've got the sliced tomatoes and avocado in the back, also sprinkled with salt and pepper. Remember those delicious onions, grill roasted, lime marinated. How about a sprig of cilantro to just lay over the top of it? Citrus and savory, it's a combination that always satisfies. I love these onions. Really good, huh?
These are the ones that were in the grill, right?
Yeah.
That was so gracious of you to offer.
Thank
No, those things.
The grill for you.
Right. Oh my, we won't go anywhere.
No, the tomatoes are really good this time.